Hello, and thank you for watching this regional forecast update for the Canadian Prairie. I'm Andrew Pritchard, Senior Meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. Well, right now, central and southern Saskatchewan, you are the cold spot across the Prairie provinces. -10 in Saskatoon this morning, -12 in Regina, a balmy 1 degree above zero in Winnipeg, -5, -6 as you make your way back to the west across Calgary and Medicine Hat. This is all on the heels of a trough that's sliding down across the central United States. It's going to cut itself off across the southwest United States, dragging a little bit of cold air along with it. And this little white ribbon of cloud that you see there, if I go ahead and play it one more time, my drawing will match up. That's cold air just oozing out of the south. So again, a little bit of a cold air mass moving through the region right now, and no precipitation associated with that. And we do have a dry next 5 days or more for just about all of the Prairie. As we talk about the near term, it's looking warmer and quiet as far as precipitation goes. A lot of sunshine the next couple of days as well. Should be seeing mostly sunny skies for the day today across much of the ag belt. A lot of sunshine for the day tomorrow. Maybe a little bit more in the way of cloud cover on Friday, especially across the east. I'm talking about in the Manitoba area. And we could also see the chance for maybe a snowflake in Winnipeg here as we get into Friday night into Saturday morning, but that is really about it. A lot of sunshine across the primary ag region of the Prairie provinces, and just about nothing as far as precipitation to talk about over the next week or so. That's largely, again, because of the ridge that's going to be building over over Western Canada, high over low pattern over Western North America. As I go ahead and just show you the jet stream pattern here on this Wednesday morning. Here's the ridge beginning to slide in. This is the trough that's dipping down out of the north, backing itself up a little bit, almost kind of retrograding back here and then cutting off across the southwest United States. So let me put this into motion here over just the short term. We'll drag this out to early this weekend here, Saturday, getting into Sunday. We're still ridged across the Prairie, so the storm track is going to be deflected well off to the north. The heavier precipitation across northern British Columbia for the next 5 days or so until we do have a potent system we're going to be bringing in here from the Pacific as we get to the other side of the weekend into early next week. That's going to likely flatten the ridge, bring back jet stream support, upper level support, and some Pacific moisture. So that'll probably bring to an end the mild temperatures. That'll also probably bring to an end this reliably dry forecast period. And I'll show you some comparisons here about where we're headed in just a moment. For now, big obvious ridge sitting over the Prairie provinces. That is the story over the next 5 days or so. Again, we will eventually bring a system in from the Pacific as we get to the other side of the weekend into early next week. It's going to help to flatten the ridge out just a bit and kind of transition this pattern a little bit. And this is what I'm showing you over here. So week 1 on the left, week 2 on the right. We're looking at the jet stream upper level pattern, the height anomalies at 500 millibars on top, the precipitation anomaly forecast on the bottom. So week 1, we've got the big ridge. We are dry across the Prairie provinces. Week 2, we flatten the ridge. We're doing troughing across the Great Lakes into the northeast, bringing stronger jet stream flow across the Prairie. This is not a pattern that's going to suddenly soak the Prairie or dump it under feet of snow or anything like that, but it will return a more active storm track to the region and at least bring us back to more average levels, which is, of course, at least every few days an opportunity for some precipitation making its way through. So same thing now, but temperatures on the bottom. So week 1 on the left, week 2 on the right, same thing up top, but as we talk about the temperatures, we're looking at 850 millibars. So this is a temperature anomaly just a couple of thousand feet above our heads. So in some of these areas where we've got snow on the ground, we're not realizing the full potential of this ridge. We really could be balmy if we hadn't seen several weeks of winter before this arrived. But then as we transition into week 2, again, certainly not any indication that we're going to be sending this thing into a big deep freeze, dumping feet of snow, sending you well below average, but I would be ready for a week 2 transition back to more seasonally appropriate conditions across the Prairie provinces, a little bit more December-like, colder temperatures and the opportunity for some snow. So here I am raining on your parade. You want to talk about a warm and quiet next 5 days, and I'm already letting you know what's on the other side of this thing. But here's the operational run, the precipitation forecast from the European operational model, being redundant there. But again, as we're on the heels of a trough out here, and the ridge out to the west, we've got jet stream flow doing something like that. coming up and over the top of the ridge, down and around the base of our trough. This is about the last place you want to be if you want precipitation. So snow lovers out there, this is not where you want to end up, but those who are ready for a little bit of a quiet stretch here, being right between that high out to the west and the low out to the east, you get a lot of sinking motion in this area, and of course a very dry air mass. So again, just kind of trying to explain why we are so dry, but I'll go ahead and just take the drawings back off and show you where we're going. I'll let you know the time frame on here. This is Wednesday, of course quiet. Thursday quiet. We talked about a lot of sunshine across the ag belt. Friday going to be quiet, that chance for a couple snowflakes in the Winnipeg area Friday night into Saturday morning. That's about it for the weekend. Saturday, we continue to be ridged, high pressure. Sunday, we're dry. Now you're starting to see some activity shifting south here as we start to flirt with the idea of that next wave making its way in on the back half of the weekend into early next week. So don't buy into what's happening here verbatim, but notice that we do trend back towards that active storm track shifting a little bit further south rather than being deflected well off to the north. We're going to once again see those opportunities for some snow across the region as we get into next week. This is what we've got over the next 6 days. So between today and the end of the day on Monday, December 7th, nothing being forecast here other than that little chance for, again, just a flurry, a couple snowflakes in Winnipeg. Otherwise, again, maybe up toward Peace River in Edmonton, perhaps getting a little bit of the return of the precipitation a little bit earlier as we get to the back half of the weekend into early next week in that area. But again, the primary ag belt across the Prairie provinces, not much to talk about until we get to next week. Here's your temperatures in Calgary over the next 10 days. Again, here's your big warm-up, potentially and likely trending cooler as we get into week 2. Medicine Hat, same thing, trending colder as we get into next week, but you got your warm-up this week into the weekend. Saskatoon, we still got snow on the ground in this area. We're going to be a little bit more muted. Temperatures hanging out right around 0, so we will be thawing out just a little bit. Regina, a couple degrees warmer here. Those highs still getting above freezing for the rest of the week into the weekend. Winnipeg, here's your next 10 days, and again, you can see the bottom just wants to fall out as we get into next week. So you've been warned. You got a quiet week ahead, a little bit warmer, but likely looking to transition back to a much more wintry vibe as we head into week 2. I'll talk to you all again on Friday morning.